Hey everybody, today we're talking about Iron Man Civil War. Hey everybody, welcome back to BK's Bullets. As always, I'm your host, Brent and today we're talking about Iron Man Civil War. This contains the Casualties of War one-shot, the Confession one-shot, and issues 13 and 14 of the Iron Man run. This is kind of a mishmash of different writers. It does have two issues from the Knopf father-son team run with Patrick Zircher on art in here, but it also has the Casualties of War one-shot in here, which was like this kind of mid-level one-shot that, not mid-level, mid-event one-shot that came out. I want to say it came out during the delay for Civil War. Like, Civil War is beautiful. It's a gorgeous book. It's drawn by Steve McNiven, but at the time, back in, I think it was 2007, there was a long break between issues. There's a couple delays. So in one of those delays, Christos Gage, I think this is what happened, and Jeremy Hahn had this Casualties of War one-shot, probably after issue 4, because they're talking about the death of Bill Foster in one of the Civil War issues. And Tony Stark and Iron Man just kind of meet up, and they're just kind of talking to each other. And then you have two issues from the Knopf brothers, which, kind of set up something big does happen in them, even though they're a Civil War tie-in. Like, the stuff happening with Civil War is mainly Tony recording like a voiceover for a pro-registration ad and things like that. And he's fighting with the Avengers. You got one issue in here with like Peter is Peter in his yellow suit? Yeah, he is. So these two issues kind of span the different issues of Civil War, because you have one where Peter's in his Iron Man spider armor, and then the second issue he's back in the regular armor and has already switched sides. Read Civil War if you don't know what that's about. And you have something happening to Happy Hogan and Pepper Potts, which is quite significant given where the Fraction run goes following all the Director of S.H.I.E.L.D. stuff in a few years from when this happened, right? So that's pretty interesting. So I can't remember, because I bought these issues off the shelf, and I was reading them off the rack. I can't remember if they came out, like, if they were delayed for 13 and 14, because they span such a large period of time. I'm willing to bet what actually happened is that Civil War was coming out, and Execute program, their previous storyline, was ending as the issues of Civil War were starting up. So I'm willing to bet that 13 is set in the past when it was coming out, like in terms of the Civil War issues, and then 14 is kind of like where the issues were at the time, with Spider-Man having already switched sides. So I'm willing to bet that's what's happened, and that's why there's such a short, run of Civil War tie-ins. Because when you think about it, like, Captain America has 3 issues of his Civil War tie-in before number 25 with the Brubaker stuff, and Spider-Man has a good 6 or 7 issues of Civil War tie-ins. Wolverine has a 5 or 6 issue run of Civil War tie-ins. Like, Thunderbolts has a whole arc. So there was a lot of books coming out at that time, and they all had this beautiful, like, half-image trade dress, except for the one-shots. Some of the one-shots, or actually, yeah, some of the one-shots did, some of them didn't. Like, the Casualties of War had this dual cover drawn by Jimmy Chung with Iron Man and Cap, and the other one is Cap over Iron Man. But the Civil War trade dress was just kind of half an image, right, with this big block of color. But yeah, so I imagine that's why there's only 2 of these and only 3 of Captain America, because they were in the middle of the storylines. And as we have talked in other reviews from this Iron Man run, starting from Extremis was very, very late. Took years to come out and finish. So I think that's probably why there's only 2 Iron Man stuff. And even the Iron Man stuff in here, like, he's still talking to the girl who created Extremis, that doctor, and now you're introducing Pepper Potts and Happy Hogan. Sal is the old man's hippie name. I could not remember last video I recorded with Iron Man. So you're introducing more of Iron Man's supporting cast, and it's kind of like going back to being a regular Iron Man book until we go to the Director of S.H.I.E.L.D. stuff. He does get offered that job in this book, in one of these issues, and he turns it down. So it's just kind of strange how this book is structured, because the last issue after number 14 is the Confession issue, which is written by Bendis, drawn by Alex Malev, and that one is gorgeous. Like, it's just a gorgeous issue, and that takes place after Civil War number 7 and Captain America number 25, where Captain America gets shot. So it's basically Steve's dead body and Iron Man talking to it because he's sad his friend is dead, right? And then there's a flashback to like when they first apprehended him at the end of Civil War #7. So that's kind of an interesting issue. So it's a little weird. Like there's a lot of stuff too that happens in the other tie-ins, like Iron Man revealing his identity to the world happens in Civil War Frontline. Doesn't happen in the Iron Man book. Doesn't happen in this main Civil War book. So, like, he's the first 2 issues or volumes of this run. You don't know. Well, you know, but the world does not know. They think that Iron Man is Tony Stark's bodyguard and that whole thing. And then, boom, in the middle of this one, it's like, oh yeah, everybody knows that Tony Stark's Iron Man. And it's like, when did that happen? Well, go read Civil War Frontline with a newspaper arc and things like that. So lots of Iron Man stuff happening outside the Iron Man book, and so the Iron Man book just kind of has to find somewhere to fit in. And doing that, bringing everything home with Happy and Pepper, I think they do a good job. And I do love this second issue, #14, with Sue kind of, tracking down Tony Stark, trying to wait till he's alone so she can talk to him and get him angry. So yeah, it's not bad. It's just kind of weird that there's only 2 issues of the main Iron Man run and then these other 2 like one-shots on either side of it. So it's a little strange, but overall I think it's not bad. There is another trade paperback that's also Civil War Iron Man, but it also says Captain America. So basically that takes this and the Captain America stuff and combines it into one trade, I think because people realize, like, hey, there's not much here. They were charging $11.99 for it at the time, which wasn't bad, actually, just for these couple of issues. But, if you find this, if you're looking for that, pick it up. There's also the one that also has the Cap stuff in it. You can pick that up as well. But, yeah, interesting run. Not much to say about it. Like, there's nothing here that's like, you have to read it. I think if you're reading Civil War, you should read The Confession, and that this is a way to read it. I think it's also in the Bendis Avengers trade paperbacks that are coming out, the new Epic collections or the old New Avengers ones that I have. That's also in, I believe it's also in there. And yeah, so it's about to get real interesting because we're about to do the Director of S.H.I.E.L.D. stuff in a couple of videos from now. So that's where I think this run really takes off. So I'm excited to finally reread that again. So thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you thought of Civil War Iron Man or Civil War event in general down below in the comments. We'll see you guys next time in the Funny Pages.